Hey guys, so I just wanted to share my personal Beachbody coaching story and experience with you. You're going to hear a lot of different stories and they're all totally different. So I think it's interesting to hear different perspectives and different backgrounds and stories. So a little background on me. I spent most of my 20s, especially the first half of my 20s, just in and out of being depressed. I was completely insecure. I always thought with a negative mindset. I was always in victim mode, always feeling sorry for myself, always feeling like the world was working against me. And I was also a really big yo-yo dieter. I would go to crazy extremes, crazy calorie cutting in order to lose weight. Basically, if I decided, okay, I want to lose weight and be skinny, right now, I would literally only allow myself to eat like a banana a day, and I would drink Diet Coke to give me that full feeling, and that's what I was fueling my body with. And obviously, I hated working out because I had no energy to do so, and then eventually I would just get frustrated with that because I would be so cranky, I had no energy, that I'd give up and I would gain all of the weight back and then some, obviously. And so that's how I spent most of my 20s. I got pregnant with my firstborn when I was 26, and right after he was born is actually when I had decided to sign up as a Beachbody coach. Family friends of ours had already started. They had already introduced me to Shakeology, but that's really all I knew about it. All I knew at that point was that I was starting to fall back into my old habits. My husband was telling me, you know what, you can't do this. There has to be another way. You're not going to starve yourself. And he was right. I knew I had to do something different. I had this little person depending on me now, and I couldn't go back to being that crabby, low energy, unhappy person that I always was. And so, right off the bat, what I wanted to drink Shakeology to help with the weight loss, because at that time, that's all I thought it was just a weight loss product or supplement. And then I also just wanted to be a part of the community. I knew that Joelle, that was our family friend, I knew that she was a part of this community and this team, and I thought, well, you know what, maybe I can learn a little bit from them and I can apply that to my own life, and that will help me learn some healthier habits to lose this pregnancy weight, because I honestly had no idea where to even start. I didn't know what clean eating was. I hated exercising. I dreaded it. I didn't want to do it. So I just figured, you know what? I'm going to try it. So I took a leap of faith. I purchased a challenge pack, the Turbo Jam challenge pack, on a complete leap of faith. I was on unpaid maternity leave because at that time I was only working as a educational paraprofessional, so I wasn't full-time. I didn't get maternity leave. I didn't have health insurance. Really, we couldn't afford it, but I did it anyways because I knew that I needed it, and I had the support of my husband, who also knew that it was going to be something that I needed. So like I said, I made the investment. I made the investment in myself and my health, and with that challenge pack purchase, I also signed up as a coach. Again, I wanted to be a part of the community, but also a big thing for me at that time was I wanted to get that 25% discount on Shakeology. And Joelle and then Janie is her mom and is actually my upline sponsor. She had told me that, all it really took was getting 3 of my own Shakeology customers in order to have my Shakeology paid for. And I was like, you know what, that sounds really simple and that would be great. So I didn't have any intentions on actually coaching. I just thought maybe if I can get 3 other people to join me, I can at least get mine paid for. I even can actually remember watching like all of these other coaches do the challenge group posts and things like that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would never do that. That's not who I am, not for me, not something I would ever consider. So, fast forward 2 months, I made it through the Turbo Jam program. I didn't have a lot of pregnancy weight to lose. So when I say this, please take that into consideration. but I lost all of my pregnancy weight in those 60 days with that Turbo Jam program. I think it was like 15 pounds, I can't even remember. But it was awesome, and it was a workout that I really actually kind of enjoyed. I still to this day hate cardio, but I can push play to Turbo Jam and Turbo Fire and still somewhat enjoy myself. I think it's the punching and the kicking and all of that. So anyways, after seeing my results and falling in love with Shakeology, knowing how great I felt after accomplishing what I had wanted to and learning more about the health and fitness world, learning more about food and eating and being a part of this positive community, I kind of decided, you know what, maybe I can do this. Maybe this is something for me. And another big factor that kind of changed my mind about, that whole I'm not gonna do those challenger accountability groups was seeing all of these moms who are able to quit their full-time jobs and stay home with their little ones. I had to actually go back to work when my son was only 5 weeks old, and that completely ripped my heart out. It was so awful. It was so hard. And up until I had him, I actually thought I would be one of those women who was happy to go back to work. I would always need an outside of the home job to keep my sanity, to keep feeling a purpose, or however you want to word it. And when it came down to it and I had him, that was not the case. I wanted to be home with him. I knew in my heart that my place was home with my kids. And so that's when I decided to really move forward. That's when I decided to really take it seriously and start building a business and building a full-time income. And that is exactly what I've been doing over the past 4 years. Just completely designing the life that I want. And it's been amazing. This opportunity has been so incredible, and it's completely changed my life. At this point, after working on myself inside and out every single day consistently, I'm in the best shape of my life. I have a completely different perspective when it comes to weight loss and fitness and food, and it's a healthy perspective. It's a healthier way of doing things than what I used to do. I've formed so many new friendships, people that I would consider family now, and even reconnected with some old friends. Actually, my very first best friend, we're talking at the elementary school days, we actually reconnected. She's coaching with me, and it's just been awesome. Just the people that this opportunity has brought into my life. And then, on top of that, I have got to be home with my kiddos. I did have to sub part-time in the beginning, when my son was still little, just to keep some kind of supplemental income coming in, because this is not a get rich quick scheme. You have to work at it. You have to put the work in, and you have to do a lot of work in the beginning to reap those rewards down the road. And so I did sub for a while, and then after having our second baby, my daughter, since then I've just been home with them, and it's been so incredible and so amazing. I actually now am earning more than I would be if I were subbing full time and then paying daycare for 2, which is kind of crazy to think about. I actually was able to turn down a full-time Title I position that one of the schools offered me last fall. They wanted me to, work 40 hours a week. It paid a little bit more than what I would have made as a sub, and I was able to say, you know what, thanks, but no thanks. I'm building a business. It's going really well, and I'm going to take advantage of this time and stay home with my kids. And that, it just felt awesome to be able to do that, to be able to say that out loud and to respond in that way. And then, probably the most important thing, the very best thing that I've gotten out of this is just the complete mindset shift that I've had since I started. I'm no longer that negative Nelly, glass half empty girl. It's funny, I'll look back and sometimes I'm like, how did I even have friends? I was so negative and so insecure, and you know that insecurities lead to, you know, trying to drag other people down with you and gossiping and putting people down. So just knowing how far I've come from that person to who I am now. And then, you know, I can even say that it probably, well, no, I can say that it did. It saved my marriage. And you're probably thinking, well, that's stupid. How is being a Beachbody coach, how could that save your marriage? But really, it did. I'm not going to go into too many details just because it's not the time or the place for that, but my husband, you know, he suffers off and on with depression and suffers a great deal with PTSD. And the first year that we were actually married, because we did have our son first and then we got married, and that first year of marriage was hard. He hit, you know, kind of an all-time low with his PTSD and suffering from that. And I can say without a doubt, had I not had the tools and just the perspective that I did at that time, because of how much I had grown because of being a part of this opportunity, I would have left. I would not have been able to see that it wasn't about me, that things weren't happening because of me, that it wasn't my fault. You know, just again, going back to that victim mentality that I used to have. But had I not been able to hold that perspective, had I not been able to take a step back and see things as they really were, I would have left. 4 years ago, that girl, she would have left. And so, yeah, I can honestly say that this opportunity, what it's done for me, how it's changed me, it has definitely helped in all of my relationships. It definitely saved my marriage. I'm sure we'll have some crazy things happen down the road too. No marriage is perfect, no relationship is perfect, and you know, we're ready for that. And now I can sit here and say, you know, well, we came out on the other side, and I can help other people who are maybe going through some of the same things that we did. So anyways, like I said, I'm not going to go into too many details about that because I could go on all day about why this opportunity is amazing, how much it's changed my life. But I promised I would only share a little bit of my story with you. So if you have any questions, please comment them below in the comments, and I will chat with you later.